And thank you, each one of you. My name is Julio Principe, and I will be the host of this little, tiny, pequeño workshop. This workshop is about I name it rewriting our history, but it's not only rewrite our histories, our past, but our future too. And please, English is not my first language, so if you don't understand something that I say, please let me know, and I will ask
It's very comfortable for me.
same people. I will write, and I will find a better translation, or maybe Caroline can help me, can assist me. Thank you so much. Muchas gracias, Carolina. And okay.
Nem találkoztam. Okay.
Ta-da.
Jaj, ne.
Rewriting our history, our past, our future. My first question for you is, as maybe you can imagine, is what are your best hopes from our session, from our workshop today? And you just imagine, or maybe you want to write it, your best hopes about our workshop. And if you achieve this or experience these best hopes, what difference would that make for you, with your life, your practice? And you can write it or think or say it aloud with your mic off if you want it. And what difference would that make? And again, what difference would that make? And if you are courageous, you can ask yourself one more time, and what difference would that make to me? Okay, so I want to open the conversation. You want to share with us what are your best hopes? What do you want to experience, or what brings you here? Please.
Okay.
Great.
This topic is really touched me. This is an actual theme for me. I think I'm not alone, that I was some problem with my family. And and now I recognize that I always try to cut the memory, and I must not to cut, but do reunion. Maybe okay. English is not my yes, and maybe this was the theme that was most interesting for me on this day.
Right.
I see. Really, because the solution focus, we also always speak about future, but sometimes the past is also
Yeah.
we can't throw out up the past.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you so much, Clara. And I wish you all the best.
Thank you.
Who else? Just open your mic.
I am in a situation at the moment where I'm like, it's so hard to look into my future. I'm so sometimes really scared of my future. And my best hope is that I get an idea how to rewrite maybe part of my history or how I'm thinking about my history, so my future isn't it's not, it doesn't have to follow the path of my
Mhm.
past, like, yeah, and that would make a difference in my life, that I would be on fire again.
Mhm.
We've been talking in our last session, Aisha.
Sorry, I'm not laughing because it was a
I know,
continuation from the last session. Yeah.
exactly. Yeah,
Lovely.
I love the idea of rewriting the history, and I am also hoping for some new ideas about how to do that.
Great. Thank you
How
so
to do
much,
that?
Carolina.
Yes.
How to do that? We'll do that today. Thank you.
I agree with everything Caroline has just said. And yeah, I'm looking forward to explore other possibilities and other ways of inviting our clients to be able to look back and manage the way that they explore their past, their history, and put certain things into filing cabinets and store it away. It will always be there, but it can be stored away as reference, and what they want to bring forward with them with positive experiences.
Great. Thank you, Aisha.
I'm here more or less because in the last hour, I read the titles and yours was there. And I thought, this is the most I'm interested in. And then it's happening now. So, but I stick with it. So I don't know, sometimes in conferences, I just go somewhere because there is something. And all the time you left for generating a best hope, I'm not sure yet, but I'm fine and I'm active and I'm wanting. So you can just leave me with that. It will happen. But yeah, I'm just here.
Nice.
Thank you.
And
Thank you.
picking up on whatever.
So,
Thank you so
thank
much.
you.
And how do I pronounce your name? Kathleen?
Kati, I
Katy.
can make, or Catalin, both is okay.
Okay, thank you, Kathleen.
Katy,
In
Katy,
Clara, I
yeah.
think it's Clara.
Clara, yeah.
Great.
Yes.
Okay.
And Aisha, Aisha, how can I pronounce your name? Okay.
Perfect.
Oh, thanks.
Great. And for the people who's watching the record, please think also about your best hopes. Please think also about what brings you here, and feel. I will think of each one of you too. So I will explain just a few ideas, just few ideas. Then we will make a little exercise, and maybe we share something about it if you want. If you have questions, of course, I will be happy to to share why I did why I do what I do or did what I did. Okay, sorry. First idea for these workshops is this Ron Harry quote: "We are made of molecules and meanings." For me, this is a very powerful idea. We are made of molecules and meanings. And this idea leads me to this one. Life is a sequence of events, but meaning is a choice. What if meaning is a choice? The choice I made about the sequence of events that what I call life. So this idea leads me to another one from Hyson Moon. she says that we need to seek stories that cure, that not all narratives, not all stories cure, but we need to seek stories that cure. So, and I finish my ideas almost here. So, what if we are curators? Curators? Yes, like in the museum of my life. What if I become my own museum curator and look with intention about my life, about my stories, about the stories I tell to myself? And in the previous minutes, we talk about also how to do that or with our clients, of course. And we do that all the time because my client came with one shape of his or her story, and I can make choices about if I want to put stronger this pattern of his or her story, or if I start to creating another possibilities with my questions or my observations. So my client is a curator of his or her life, but me as a therapist or consultant, I can make or offer questions that brings the opportunity to expand the meaning of his or her life. That's all my workshop. I finished. Sorry, we spent 1 hour, but it was 15 minutes. Okay, so some questions until here, something you want to share or ask or etc. And thank you so much for your feedback on the chat. Thank you. Questions, comments, observations?
I like this, what you just showed. And
Did you
sometimes it's already a big thing. What happens that one side of this shape gets a bit a del, I don't know a word for that. So it gets a bit curvy instead of like this. So sometimes it's just a little change, but a big change to the.
Yes, thank you so much, Kathleen. I hope to remind what you said from my from a future workshop.
Yeah, you just can. It's really easy as well.
Yes, yes, a very little movement, a very the same point of the story, but in a just a little different way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
thank you. Okay. So let me see. Okay. So we're going now to an exercise. We need 4 objects for this exercise. Please bring 4 objects, and if you are watching the record, please bring 4 objects. It doesn't matter what kind of objects, but just imagine we will work maybe on the table if you are on the table. So for reasonable sized objects.
But I'm just waiting for my colleague Joe, who's over there, to get his
Great.
four objects.
Find your four objects.
He's one of your objects or what?
Like a background.
How did you find him?
Okay. Great. One of the objects will represent you in this present time, in this very present time. Another one will represent you in the past. And another one will represent you in the future. So we'll make an image, something like that. Me, I'm not sure you are able to tell. Me and my past. And me on my future. Okay? So please make an image, something like that. That's just a reference, like a timeline. And we have a fourth object. We just wait. We will use the four objects in some minutes. So you have this timeline. It's just a metaphor. So observe. But maybe when you observe this timeline, you also you can feel or perceive some physical reactions. So be aware of what is different for you. Now, please, with one of your fingers, put a finger gently on the object that represents you. And from there, look back to past you. Just imagine that you are in this place. The finger is just to imagine you are here. Look at the past and simply registers what bodily or emotional reactions arise. Look into the past, at your history, the history of your village, the history of your family, of your parents, maybe how they met, how they married, if they married. Look at your history and think about how you were born. What did they tell you? How you grew up? What it was like growing up on your town, in your time, in that economy, or with those beliefs? How was that time like? Take a deep breath. And now, look to your future. What does it like? What does it look like? because maybe you can perceive that your life is moving you in one direction, or that what have you been prepared for with your history? Just observe and just perceive. And take a deep breath now. Now move your fingers a little bit. And look for that four object. And take this four object in your hands. And you can treat it with love, with care, with gentleness, with tender, with gratitude.
Sorry, but which object?
The four object, the new object.
But it's too much for my.
Sorry.
I can put only one, and this is what I don't understand.
So sorry if I
A negyedik
A
tárgya.
negyedik. Ja, köszönöm. Force. Köszönöm.
Yes.
Okay.
Thank
Én
you.
állandóan a fornál tartottam, köszönöm. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you so much.
We have a secret language.
So you find your four object. Find your four object.
Force. Okay.
Fourth. The four. Yes, number four.
Okay.
Number four. The object number four. And this object represents a very special moment in your life. Maybe it happened decades ago, or weeks ago, or even earlier today. It doesn't matter. This object represents a moment in your history in which you felt in plenitude, in full connection with your resources, with your treasures. It doesn't mean that everything was easy at that time. It means that even though it was challenging, you felt that you could face what you needed to face. That you experienced connection with your life, with your abundance, with your resources. And think really in a very specific time of your life. And just remember and feel it there, represented in that object. Now, place it on the timeline. And perceive what's the difference for you. Again, place a finger on the object that represents you in the present. And now we'll make a little travel. We will travel on time to this new beginning, to this new place. This new place is a place important, a moment important in your story, in your history. And connect with that moment in your life. What was different at that time? Connect with that moment. Connect with those people that made that time so special for you. And in your heart, if you can, if you want it, you can say it aloud. You can say something like, from now on, I declare this moment as my new beginning. From now on, I declare this moment as my new starting point. And notice what is different for you. Maybe you can take a deep breath. And you can take a look to this past self. And you can say something like, thank you for having me prepare me, or thank you for all that I lived, or thank you, mom, dad, thank you to my family for taking care of me. And you will be forever part of my history, but you don't define me anymore. Take a breath. And now you look to the future, and you can say something like, thank you, dear future, for inspiring me. Thank you for saving my life. Thank you for giving me illusions, or thank you for being a lighthouse. And now I am ready for a whole new future. And now, allow the object that represents you, to move into a new place in the future. Maybe off the side, maybe farther away. Maybe it's like it would be embracing or creating new possibilities. And well, you can say to the future, thank you. And you can say to the past, thank you. And you can say to the new beginning, you are my new beginning. And if you want, you can make a gesture like that embraces all this new image, this new story that you create for yourself. Take a deep breath. And at your time, at your way, find your own way to come back and let this each one of these objects come back to what they are. You're not my past. You are again uh, my keys. You're not my new beginning. You are again my glasses, etc. Please do that with each one of the four objects. And just perceive what's difference for you. And maybe you can realize that in a good movie, the protagonist or the heroine starts his or her journey maybe at the age of 30 or 50 or 20, not at the moment of birth. And that everything that happens thanks to special preparation. Now you choose for yourself and for your hero's journey, so to say, this new story and new possibilities. And you know that sometimes after the great blockbuster hit, prequel movies are made, explaining how you became the heroine you are. So from now on, maybe when people ask you about you, you can tell your story from your new beginning as a new starting point. And you can tell about and create about a future beyond your ideas. And if someone asks you about all their stories, of course you can tell them within this new framework because they can explain how you became the heroine you are. Okay, so this is my little exercise from this workshop. And I love to open a space to share what is what I'm perceiving now, what I'm aware, or what is present with me now. Uh, After this sharing about our experience, we can talk a little bit about what we do, or you have questions, of course. So please, what is different for you? What's present with you?
Um,
Yes.
it's okay because I spoke at first. It was very interesting, and I don't know the answer yet. It it caused many questions for me. Uh, but it was very interesting. The fourth object, and absolutely, I don't know what do with this coffee
Yeah.
cup.
Yeah.
uh, I don't know exactly because it's very interesting because the third one, what represent the present, is a book,
Mm-hmm.
uh, and it it can mean many things: the learning, the relax, the past also. I yes. Uh, and and it was really funny because the third one it was a pen
Mm-hmm. No.
and and I recognize it maybe this is a new beginning. Maybe I have to write my book, my own book.
Right. Along with with a cup of coffee, of course.
With a cup of coffee.
Or
Yes, yes, and I try and started to fú, magamévá tenni, segíts Kati.
Oh, mondjad.
Hogy magamévá tenni az ötletet, nem teszem.
To make this idea my own.
Yeah, yes. This is the new beginning because I'm old enough, and this is a new view that it can be a new beginning today, not depend on my age.
right.
Uh, and this is interesting because I knew this, but I didn't believe. You understand this? Yes. But now it's a good idea for me.
Great. Thank you.
Yes, thank you very much.
Thank you, Clara.
And because that I have to write my book, it's meaning many things. That
I
it's not
can.
that exactly a book, but the new story, yes. and and who knows uh,
Thank you.
what's about this book. Thank you, everybody,
Who else
so
wants to share?
for your attention.
Yeah, I tried not to put meaning to the objects, but that was really hard.
Yeah.
And in the end, it really had meaning. And that was one part that was really helpful to me now. What was even more helpful is that there were so many feelings depending where I looked at, and depending if the fourth object wasn't there or was there. And then when the present me moved by the future, that was like I'm even leaving my feared future behind.
Yeah.
And there's new future coming, and now I feel a feeling of wonder, of curiosity.
Yeah.
um,
Great.
what's going to come.
Great. Oh,
Thank you. Thank you.
thank you, Caroline. Got to pop out. Okay.
Yeah, what my thoughts are, what I like about your exercise, that it's possible to be part of it, very taking different depths
Mhm.
with it. Maybe I was a bit like a player today when I observed my two colleagues here. They probably went deeper with it, and I was just like a bit playing
Yeah.
them and putting, and I can imagine that there is another day or another moment in life when I can take it and use it and experience something totally different. And this is, I think, the strength of an exercise like this, that it's an invitation to experience something, but it also teaches you a way, or it teaches me right now, a way of acting on my view of on my life. So thank you. Very
Thank you, Katalin.
nice treasure.
Thank you. And of course, this is just a metaphor.
Yes.
Objects, and we can. I didn't put another source that makes me think, because I didn't find the source exactly at the time. But there's some people, neuroscientist, Schachter, I think is the name of the guy, the, the the researcher, that they explain how we create our future from our past. So what if we make that aware choice about my story begins at when I build this business in the middle of Corona crisis, or my story begins when I decide to move to a new place, or to marry, or to divorce. My story begins when I was in middle of this situation, and I really enjoyed and made it, and it was an inspiration for myself and for other people. So when I think that my story begins at that time, I can move toward a broader and richer future. So you can use these ideas for a typical solution-focused conversation. Or if you want to play a little bit, you can use objects. And if you know about a little bit, or just aware of systemic constellation work, this is related. It's an exercise that's related to systemic constellation work, but from my way of doing. Okay, we have maybe 10 minutes, so questions or comments, or we will start to finish.
I don't know if the others want something to step closer to the experience, but if not, if yes, then they should probably go first. And if not, I'm just curious maybe about the story of yours, how you use this, and what happened. So if there is a possibility to tell an or own or plant story.
How do I use, you say?
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
So what, and what did you observe as a possibility from it?
oh, I use many times in workshops like this one, or not only training workshops, but workshops, open seminars. I maybe I need to say just a little footnote that I call myself a systemic gardener. So I so I have a way of doing things that combines solution focus. Of course, we are here because it's solution focus day, but also with systemic constellation principles and complexity dialogues. So I host open workshops. So sometimes I use this exercise, or if I'm coaching session, I can do this just in a typical conversation with questions or visualization, or maybe with objects too. And the result, so to say, is that people experience this maybe like Caroline says a little bit like wow, my life is more and more and more rich than I thought, or I never think about that I can make a choice about who am I. So the life can change dramatically if people allows it him herself to say, okay, I'm not the poor Peruvian guy that was created and this blah 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 blah, but I am this guy who, you know, blah 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 blah, and creates that difficult situation of the country. Because many people, including therapists, not of course not solution focused therapists, but many people wants that people, sorry, tell, defines or tells stories about the sadness or difficulties with good intention, I think, but we can choose, we can be the curators of our life. Thank you. I don't know if it was useful my answer or my ideas. Yeah.
Yes, thank you. Mm-hmm.
Something else, another questions or observation, remark?
It's also a nice term, systemic gardener.
Yeah, yeah. Thank you.
A picture.
Because I'm just a guest temporarily, but the spur is it's the own of the gardener own, of course. The garden, yeah.
Very nice.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah, I have one more thought. I am I'm thinking that what the exercise that we have been doing now, and also solution focus, is a little like meditation. Where a meditation in which I create my future.
Yeah.
And it's like stepping into the unknown. Like after this exercise, it's like, yeah, what's coming now? This is like an unknown territory and everything is possible. It's beautiful.
Yeah. Thank you. It's true. And we can experience that even we do not the details about this future. But we have these little clues that, of course, are we knew these clues about from our history, of course. Okay, so thank you so much, each one of you. Thank you for the people that watch the record and enjoy all the sessions and enjoy the finished session that is in 2 hours.